Hey guys, hope everyone's keeping well. Yeah, it has been a while. I apologize for any type of update, posts, blogs. Um, yeah, I don't actually. It was last year. It's weird saying that now. That haven't done one since the start of the new year. So happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good start to it. Christmas feels like ages ago now. But yeah, weird, quiet Christmas. But yeah, it was good. But I hope everyone's keeping safe and well. I know everything's kind of getting a bit more manic, lockdowns and restrictions and stuff. So I hope everyone's keeping safe and well. I'm still getting some updates from the para team, in our wee group. It's kind of heartbreaking, the reality out there and what people are going through. So it kind of, yeah, it's heartbreaking, but it makes you feel so thankful for what you have. So yeah, I hope everyone is keeping as safe and healthy as possible. But yeah, so in general, Henry's been doing great. Typical 2-year-old. I actually was chatting to someone the other day, and I was just like, actually, he's like 2.5. Like, when did that happen? I think we're sort of counting this month he's 6 months post transplant, which is a bit of a milestone. Which made me then think for at least 2.5, because his transplant was 5 days before his second birthday. So yeah, no, he's behaving like a typical 2.5-year-old. He's very energetic, on the move plenty, which I love. My energy levels don't love it, but I love it. But yeah, he's doing great. Just keeping us busy and on our toes. So yeah, in terms of his medical side of things, there hasn't really been much change. His numbers had started to drop very slightly, but whenever I spoke to the nurse again, she says it's like, okay, there's a drop, but there's nothing to be concerned about. And whenever they say that, I'm like, yep, okay, cool. I completely can trust everything they say. They are real experts in all this. So yeah, it's looking as if we're going up every fortnight now, which is good. They don't need to see him as often. Obviously because they're happy with him, but also because of COVID, just to eliminate any risk. So like, you would assume the hospital is probably the safest place, but it's really not. And you don't want to put the staff there at risk either. So I think we're going up every fortnight. So David took him up this morning. But previous to then, he's been doing great. The community team have been coming out. They've been amazing. They come out over Christmas and everything as well. Flushing his lines. But yeah, he's just the same medication he's on. He's doing great. There was one thing that was slightly changed, was he's on one of the meds he's on is called ondansetron, which is his anti-sickness, which he gets 5 ml morning and night. But because his wee system, bless him, he was squeezing quite a bit to go to fill his nappy, so he's a wee bit constipated. We decided, we chatted to the nurse, and they says, oh well, ondansetron can cause that. So we've dropped the nighttime dose of it, which, like, the first couple of nights, it was quite like I was a wee bit paranoid, just like taking like a bowl beside the bed, in case, like, you just think he's off anti-sickness, so he's going to be sick. But he wasn't, and he hasn't been, which is amazing. So he's just getting that in the mornings now. We also had a call with the Bristol team last Thursday afternoon. Really cool. It was wee video calls we sort of do with them every 3 months. Really cool to see the team again. Just strange, because like, even if you hear like Bristol accents, it kind of puts you back to last summer when we were there. But yeah, we still miss all the team, obviously, and it's good to sort of catch up with them, because I think thinking is another 3 months we'll have another chat with them, and then like all these chats, like if COVID wasn't a thing, we would actually be flying over there to meet them. But thankfully we can just do virtual calls at the minute. Eventually, I would say when he turns 3, we'll be going over to Bristol again. So, but yeah, they sound really happy. We sort of went through the medication he's on with them. They mentioned the thing, like this number, to do with his immune level or immunity, which hasn't really been discussed before, but they mentioned it and they said it was like 1.4, and it should be 3. But all this is like normal for what Henry's going through. But I sort of said, asked David to sort of mention a wee bit more to the Belfast team to see if they can talk us through it a bit more. Like, obviously they didn't mention it because it's not a concern, and there's a lot of other numbers being thrown around that I suppose you're just thinking, flip, they're helping them with so much stuff in their heads. So, which we do, like it's still quite manic. Keeping on top of, like, we're keeping on top of like the supplies that Henry needs, making sure we order stuff when we're running low. The medication, making sure we order it whenever we're running low, and all those come from all different places. So yeah, you need to be pretty darn organised for all that. So yeah, they probably just didn't want to snow us under with anything else, but they're happy with him. There was talk about taking him off, weaning him off his hydrocortisone, which is the mild steroid that he's on, morning, lunchtime, and morning, afternoon, and night. But we were chatting to the Bristol team, they don't want to make any changes because of that immune level. So, and then they're keeping all the lines in until that sort of comes up and he starts coming off other meds, which is fine. You know, it's the easiest way to get meds into him is through his tube, and to get blood out of him is his Hickman line. So however long that takes, we're just gonna hang in there. But Henry's form and everything, he's doing great. We are having to start to think of different things for him to eat because he's getting slightly addicted to sweet stuff. But from what I read, I don't like reading up online too much, but from what I read and chat to other parents, you know, that's normal. We just need to make sure he doesn't become addicted like me. I don't know who gets that after me. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, apparently he's doing great. We're just waiting. Obviously, he went up today. He got the different levels done in his bloods. He's another test coming up soon. Can't remember what it was called, but it's coming up soon anyway. I think it's to test his adrenal glands. Obviously, when he was going through transplant, some parts of his sort of body sort of went into sleep mode, and I suppose because they're kicking back in, they just want to test all these things, which is fine, you know. So apart from that, we're just waiting for his blood results to come in. They usually come in later in the afternoon, if not tomorrow. The VARI levels are, David asked today, they're fine, so they're keeping that up to the dose he's on at the minute. Got weighed, his weight's fine. It's like, it's not jumping up drastically, but it's sort of hovering around the same thing. Like, he's on the move a lot now, so he's probably, whatever he's eating, he's probably just completely burning off. But yeah, they checked, they'd done like a wee swab of the site for his Hickman line in his chest today. And when you do that, they have to sort of strip him off. So they said like his skin's looking great. Like, that was one of the main things Bristol sort of asked, like, has he had any fevers? Has he any rashes? And has he any runny nappies? And we were just like, no to all 3 of those, as they're quite common things to happen due to the GVH. But his engraftment's still sitting at 100%, so I can't be more thankful than I feel at the minute. I'm just so glad. Now, they said if it drops like 95%, that's fine. It's normal. Like, they usually look for it to be around that sort of end of the scale, just because of the GVH, but his is at 100 and always has been, so everybody seems to be very happy about that. But yeah, that's you know, David said today they said they'll let us know when we need to go up again, so I'm assuming it'll be kept to fortnightly, unless they do 3 weeks, I don't know. But the community team will be out again on Thursday to do their thing. And yeah, everything else is going great. One big thing is I'm now working again, which is strange. I started last Monday, and all along we were sort of chatting. The plan was for me to do 3 full days a week, and to sort of get back gradually to full-time employment down the line a wee bit. But the closer it got to me starting work, the more we sort of talked about actually how that, we sort of, me and David sat down and how is that going to look and affect things. Because always my priority is family, you know, and Henry and his health, and just not wanting everybody stressed out. So me and him sat down and had a chat, and then I had a conversation with my boss, because I suggested if I work the mornings, Monday to Friday, it would mean I would be in contact with work every day, but it would also mean that there isn't like a long period of time where David sort of left being the sole carer for Henry, and having to do everything, because it's tough. It is definitely a two man job, but if I just work the mornings, it will make it a good bit easier for both of us. Also, it feels like a good balance for my mental health, and like routine and stuff like that. So thankfully my boss said yes, and he was happy with that. So we've started doing that last week, and it feels good. Feels good to be back designing with the team. Feels good being getting that routine. I had an initial fear and a kind of guilt for like feeling like I want to go back, because for so long it's just been Henry is my sole priority. Mum is being a mum is my main job anyway, and will always be ahead of everything else. But it just having those feelings of like I do want to get back to work. I do want to be a designer. I had this bit of guilt of like am I a bad person for wanting that? It's just it was a wee bit of turmoil with all that, but I've since wised up, and I feel it's a very good balance, meaning when I do finish work, I work 9 until 1. I'm a better mum, because it's tough sitting in here working from 9 to 1 with the door closed. And you know, Henry initially he didn't look for me, and I was a bit like, I thought he would be, but when he wasn't, I was like, oh cheers mate. So but the end of last week, and yeah, he started looking for me, and he just heard mama at the door, and you know, every part of you just wants to run to him and give him a big hug, but I couldn't, because then he would just be very clingy. So it was it's tough, but I think we're getting into a good way of like David would take him out for a drive or a walk if people are smart and there's not too many people about outside, and then he is distracted easily. Like on Friday I heard him going mama, and then within 2 minutes he was giggling his head off. You know, he was fine. It's just going to take a wee bit of adjusting for all of us, but so far so good. And I'm working on some cool projects at the minute, which is a great thing. So yeah, everything's going well. David, sort of asking David today how he feels about how things are going. He's happy, I'm happy, Henry's happy. So yeah, it seems to be a good solution for everybody. So yeah, that's the biggest kind of change that's happened. Good to get money coming in again too. But that's the biggest change. What else? Oh, I finally got my keyboard. Wow. Yeah, David treated me at Christmas. Got me the keyboard I wanted, so I have like a full setup now that sort of whenever someone else buys you feel not pressured but compelled to use it, because I would get quite impatient when learning stuff. But I've started learning keyboard, lifting my guitar again, doing a bit more singing, bit of writing, and yeah, things are going well. So we get the blood results later today, see what happens there. Everybody's happy with how Henry's doing, so we are very, very thankful. We still hear some stories about other parents going through similar things, and could have been so much different, but we are sort of hoping that with what we went through and are going through, that we can be of help to other people too. So connecting with other people at the minute, which feels good. very big believer on every experience we go through can help, if even just one person, which leads on to, obviously, I spoke about the book a while ago, and I will be starting to write that book for Conquer in the next few while, once we get settled into like work and stuff again. So that's definitely on the horizon. Really, really, really want to do that. I'm quite excited about doing it too. So yep, that's going to happen eventually as well. But that's pretty much where we're at the minute. I'm not going to be doing really frequent updates unless there's like big things where it's been like a long time passing that I kind of want to touch base with you guys. But thank you for all your messages, all your prayers, keeping in touch with us. Like, lockdown is tough for everybody, but I'm very, very thankful for people asking about Henry and how we're coping and offering to help. And it's just, even just a thought, it means so much. So thank you so much. But I'm still praying for all you guys too, that just as a whole, that everybody gets through this together. Always remember that this is temporary. That's one thing I've remembered throughout all of this, that it'll pass. We just get through it together, and there is an end to all this. So yeah, just take it a day at a time and just get through it. But yeah, that's where we're at. I will keep you posted if there's anything else happening, but other than that, yeah, Henry's doing great, we're doing great, and I hope you're doing great. But yeah, I'll keep you posted if there's anything else. And in the meantime, please stay safe and healthy and well. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.